Well, now to the curious world of high-profile Adelaide businesswoman Sally Zhao and her gold mine near Broken Hill. The New South Wales government has suspended mining operations, and Ausgold confirmed today its Good Friday mine has been inoperative since August last year. HENDRIK Press has more.
The locals pronounce it Tibberburra. Back of the outback, where you'll find the Good Friday gold mine, owned by a private company called Ausgold. It claims a vast business empire, of which we found no evidence. Daryl Gobbett is an economist at financial advisor Ballieu Holst.
It's difficult to find out who are the managers, who are the other investors, where the money's coming from, in fact what it does.
Ausgold's sole director, the enigmatic Sally Zhao, largest donor to the South Australian Liberal Party. Sally Zhao launched the start of gold production at Good Friday over a year ago. A who's who of the Australian mining industry turned up at a ritzy Sydney harbourside function. The promise? Solid gold ingots, 98% pure. Our investigation last year found the mine hadn't produced an ounce of gold. Former employee Peter Johnson.
She's called a mining magnate. Now, to our knowledge, at the moment there are no operating mines in Australia that she owns.
Now the New South Wales government regulator has cancelled Ausgold's licence. Here's the report. It lists pages of issues, including a score of dead kangaroos found trapped in a sediment dam which was built where it should not have been, other breaches of statutory conditions which constitute offences under the Act, and management not in the hands of a competent person. Ausgold says it has some financial difficulties because of changes to China's foreign exchange policies, making it more difficult to transfer money from China. Professor Clive Hamilton, Charles Sturt University.
One would have to say that Sally Zhao's financial affairs are very opaque. It's very hard to know where her money comes from.
There's nothing that would actually tell you about cash flows, where the money's coming from.
Or where the money's going. Tibberburra locals like Mavis Jackson says the tiny township was expecting a jobs bonanza.
There was a promise originally of supporting the town and the locals and employing locals. As far as I'm aware, there's only one local person employed.
According to the documents, staff have reported Ausgold owes significant amounts of money to businesses across the region. Failure to comply with the regulator's direction could lead to a maximum fine of $1.1 million and a further $110,000 for each day the offence continues.
First to the mysterious Liberal Party benefactor and mining tycoon Sally Zhao. The high-profile but secretive Miss Zhao has frequent double-page newspaper ads promoting her business ventures, but now she's advertising for an au pair to care for her daughter. And as HENDRIK Press reports, it's a round-the-clock job and a possible life of luxury.
What do Michael Jackson, Elton John, Kylie Minogue, Tom Cruise and John Travolta have in common? They've all cruised Sydney Harbour on the super yacht AQA, and so has 80-year-old Gloria Zhao.
And it was just so extravagant. I just hadn't experienced anything like that, especially for an 8-year-old birthday party.
Gloria, daughter to enigmatic Chinese-Australian Sally Zhao, the largest single donor to the SA Liberal Party.
I remember over in Sydney we used to go to Chinatown, and over there you pick out a fish or a crab or a crayfish that you want that's in a tank, and they'll get it out and they'll cook it and bring it to your table, and that would cost hundreds of dollars. It would be nothing for her to spend $1,000 at a restaurant just on one night.
Jenny Brown worked with Sally Zhao and was given a special task.
It was Gloria's 8th birthday. So Sally asked me if I could organise some children to fly to Sydney to attend Gloria's birthday party on this yacht. And I said to Sally, as far as bringing 20 or 30 kids over, I can't do that. And she said, I pay for everything.
Only 8 years old, Australian-Chinese Gloria Zhu is a rising star with an angel's heart on a mission to promote peace and goodwill throughout the world.
In this slick video, Gloria is the star at a huge Sydney function, showing the youngster with politicians most ordinary children never meet, like then Foreign Minister Julie Bishop.
There will be a new generation of young Australians and young Chinese.
The video portrays Gloria as a young Australian ambassador to China.
Beyond her role as an ambassador, Gloria dreams that in the future she could be a diplomat and join the United Nations to effect change in the world on an even bigger scale.
United Nations is a group that you can help each other, and I love helping each other.
Sally even took out a full-page national newspaper ad to wish her daughter happy birthday, but that wasn't enough. Sally also booked the luxury Sydney Harbour cruise for the 8-year-old.
So as it was, my grandchildren, which I've got 4, flew over from Adelaide with their parents, and she put us all up in the Holiday Inn, which was just in Chinatown.
Then it was off to the yacht where reality TV stars made their appearance.
So it was laid on really thick. It was no expenses was spared at all. Also on this boat there was a film crew and they were filming this, and I just remember thinking back then, this is an 8-year-old's birthday party.
And if you like this lifestyle, there may be a job for you.
So then she asked me if I could organise a nanny for the girls to live in Adelaide and go to St Peter's Girls College. She had trouble finding a suitable nanny, because it's a big ask of someone to move in and 24/7 look after your children.
Sally has just advertised for a nanny, well, a personal assistant on seek.com. You'll need to be kind-hearted, well-spoken, responsible and caring. You'd live in, probably in something like this, and work 7 days a week. Meanwhile, SA's largest cherry grower, Torrens Valley Orchards, is suing Sally's Food company in the Supreme Court over $400,000 worth of cherries, which the orchard says Food Alliance bought last year. 32 tonnes of fruit. The grower says he still hasn't been paid. Food is fighting the claim. It's not the first time one of Sally's companies has defended a lawsuit for unpaid monies, as Gloria fronts a mining conference sponsored by another Zhao company, Ozgold.
She always insisted that Gloria, her daughter, open the symposium. Unheard of. You know, this is supposed to be a significant meeting and get-together for mining people, important people in the mining game, and she's got a daughter opening the symposium.
And we will fly to the happy future.
First to Sally Zhao and the collapse of her fabled but mystifying Ozgold business empire. Among Sally Zhao's many grandiose promises were new ventures in diamond and gold mining, food exports and real estate. Instead, she's left behind millions of dollars in debts with angry creditors across 3 states. Hendrik Gout has our special investigation.
Gold Rush Country, recall the name and stake your claim.
It was Australia's new gold rush in the outback desert near the tiny township of Tibooburra. Population 134 humans and twice as many roos. Epicentre of the Ozgold bonanza. It promised so much: jobs, prosperity in a town which could use it. Its promoter, the enigmatic, the Delphic Sally Zhou.
It was going to be really good for the locals up there, you know, employment periods and all for people, but nothing.
Here in Broken Hill, it is a trail of broken aspirations, broken dreams, and, say some locals, broken promises.
All broken promises, yeah, and I don't believe anyone's seen Sally back up there since. So all smoke and mirrors.
When she claimed to be reopening the old abandoned Wee McGregor gold and copper mine here in North Queensland, the news made a splash. Press photographs of MP Bob Catter at the announcement. Gold bullion, she said, to be sent to Perth and Adelaide Mints. we showed Wee McGregor was a flooded hole in the ground and no mine. She started a diamond mining company. Not one diamond, let alone a flush. But she drove a Rolls-Royce, was the largest donor to the Liberal Party in South Australia and a huge donor nationally. She and her family courted, and were courted by, them all. Invited to the home of now Premier Stephen Marshall.
She attends Liberal Party functions from time to time.
When she went yachting, it was aboard this. She claims a vast business empire, which our investigation last year exposed as wildly exaggerated or even imaginary interests in coal, power generation, shipping. Jenny Brown, then Sally Zhu's personal assistant, saw the video with some surprise.
And we just looked at it and thought, this is so untrue. This is not what she's got. She had ships and boats and trains, and it looked like BHP, but we knew what it was. It was just a little gold mine in Broken Hill.
Then, in 2017, the who's whom of Australia's mining world was invited here for the launch of the Ausgold Good Friday gold mine at Tibooburra.
It was glamorous. There were probably a couple of hundred people there, and it was magic. It was a big event and really sumptuous surrounds for sure.
Julian Malnick is chair of the prestigious Sydney Mining Club.
It was a nice touch. We were opening a gold mine and the wine had a gold leaf floating in it. It was a very impressive flower wall with the name Ausgold Mining Group in it. And I think everyone was, tickled by it.
But it wasn't all it seemed, despite the invitation saying it was a celebration of the mine opening and that the mine was producing. In reality,
no, it wasn't operating at the time. You could see the pipelines, the pipe segments of pipe were strung out, but they weren't joined, connected yet. Certainly the minister was there, so he obviously believed it was, at a critical point.
And when we turned up unexpectedly, over a year later, still no production. Then the mining regulator found an unauthorised slimy dam which had trapped dozens of floundering, drowned kangaroos, and it closed Good Friday. Ausgold Mining Group Proprietary Limited, now with debts in the million, we've seen these private company balance sheets, has collapsed into administration. Lee Rossetti was the mine's general manager. In the federal court, he's suing Ausgold and Sally for unpaid monies.
$900 to $1 million.
That case still going, with Ausgold contesting. But Stephen Moyle, motorcyclist and miner, won his case for wages owing a full year ago. How much did the court say you were owed?
$40,000 in round numbers.
Have you seen any money at all?
No, not 1 cent.
Mick Walden is tired of waiting too. He supplies the mining industry, but he was an Ausgold miner who also sued for unpaid wages and won. You got there around $40,000 in that order?
That's correct.
And that judgment was made last year?
Yes.
And you have not yet seen a cent?
No.
Even though the court said she had to pay?
Yep, that's right. Not $1 has come across my table.
The office is closed. The packers are moving in. And if you're wanting to buy a little non-working gold mine, Good Friday is now up for sale. Broken Hill is a friendly town, though some locals say the sign no longer applies to Sally Zhu.
No one's got any time for her anymore. Yeah, she's burned a lot of bridges.
Sally would not be interviewed, but she sent a message. The higher we soar, the smaller we appear to those who cannot fly, she wrote me, and ended with 2 glasses of wine.